Alright, welcome back everyone. Bienvenidos a todos. Hoy es el día número 46. Today is day 46. We took a leap day yesterday to introduce our last project for May, which was to play the game, so to speak, which we're continuing to do after this. It's kind of like a experimental scheduling part, so then to see how well I juggle a fourth thing, because in less than 2 weeks Duolingo Japanese will be cycled into after our Duolingo Spanish section every once in a while in very particular days, so 3-day periods. So May month is going to be a little bit congested or regular on the fourth stuff. You can see where we go from there. Still expanding. Let's go over what was 2 days ago. Alright, so we did have an extra thing for used words like gustar. So gustar, the reason why is that it requires a word. So we have me, which refers to the thing that is acting on. So it's kind of in this structure, right? And then gustad. Oh, there, Curdle. Yeah, all is well. How are you doing? So gustad and words like it, say interesar and encantar, functionally, right? Functionally, they are going to either be in the a, like gusta, so far, like gusta or gustan, or singular and plural. And then this indicates the person, the pronoun, or the it's kind of the do, the direct object. And then oftentimes they introduce how to identify with the minimum amount of context by using a and the pronoun, a plus the pronoun. To clarify, so like a mí me gusta, right? So that's the exercise that they added, because in my opinion it's a very useful place, because the unit discuss your routine uses a different, I would call it like a different family of tendency nouns, and that's our verbs like lavar, but it's more like lavarse. The reason why I'm writing it this way is because it's to remind the tendency. So lavarse is one of them. Levantarse, ponerse. What else was part of the routine? And then we got a new one, cepillarse. Get up, wash, put on clothing, brush. Ducharse. They're not formally families. I don't actually even know if they're formally families, but that's how Duolingo is doing it. So how this works is it kind of looks like gustar group, but it's not the same as gustar group. Se, so because this is me, and then we have me, te, nos, me, te, nos, and le and les, right? So these are the words for that. Now these guys are different. They are referring to what's happening on it. So this thing is also still directing towards this as the do, but it's conjugated differently because this one. So for example, one thing that came up in this unit is se piarse. So when you say se plus a conjugation, so let's say it's gonna be se pian, because se pian is referring to its direct object. So, oh no, this is not do, sorry. This is io. I would consider it more like an indirect object. So it's the actor. So se, got sick Sunday. I haven't been the same yet, but hanging in there. All right. I hope you're recovering. What are you doing? What do you do when you're sick, Curdle? So se becomes more like the subject, the indirect object. So se, and then you have se me and nos. And that's it so far. I don't think so. These are the ones for the indirect. So this is like he, she, them, doing something, and this is conjugated based on the direct object. So in this case, se pian tends to be linked with today's unit, which is los dientes, which this is also some of a behavior. It's not your teeth or our teeth or their teeth. It's understood by the phrasing of this. So like we got manos, right? So las manos, and the way they interpret it, las is it's contextual. It's depending on whose hands are washing. So it's dependent on the quote unquote indirect object. It's not really an indirect object, but I call it an indirect object because the direct object is the thing I'm conjugating for. And then the indirect object is the actor of that's related to this. So it's telling me about se pian or se piar. This is telling me about se piar in English. And then this is also. But this one is the indirect thing that's operating on the direct thing. So that's how I was negotiating what the conjugation is. So this is not the same as this because this is referring to the left side. It's referring to the quote unquote kind of direct object. So when you're saying me gusta, is me gusta because it's singular. And then when there are more than one person, like les, it's les gustan, right? And then it's still te gusta. So that's kind of, and they're indistinguishable. They're not conjugated based on what comes after, which causes the error sometimes. So these are the two that was the primary focus of what this is. And then we have vocabulary. Functionally, this is not a way to linguistically explain these things, but functionally that's how you can keep it consistent. And maybe it's still erroneous. However, these things will be adjusted as they're going. Whatever provides the most consistency is where I'm going with, and then enrich after, right? Then we had cara for face, cara, dientes, cabello for hair. Do we have anything else? We have cepillo, and cepillo de los dientes or de dientes. Okay. For toothbrush. There's also suyo and tuyo, which must conjugate with the object they're referring to. So Suya, suyos, tuyos, and then mio. So we got those. There might be something else for routine. Get up, brush, mine, yours. Okay. Let's go over our pods and then see if I can pick up anything else. But this is one of the ones that separates from these two. I've always kind of like pictured them as three separate groups. The normal verbs and then these verbs. These verb families, so to speak. Okay, let's go over. Oops. Okay. Oh, I got all of these flipped, man. So the pod one, the daily routine. I thought that would have been Falstaff, but it wasn't. I thought this would be Lynn. I thought this would be Falstaff, but it's Lynn, which the next thing is I thought was Lynn. So daily routine. These guys actually talked about two people. And oh no, one person. They talked about getting up early, right? Getting up early, washing up very quickly, ir al trabajar, right? To go to work. And it's nice to go to work fresh, and clean, limpio. Right, fresh and clean, limpio. And Lynn, of course, says, that sounds good and all, but I just roll out of bed and take my chances. Honestly, I kind of sort of do the same. I roll out of bed, go upstairs, splash some water on my face and go out and run, and then afterwards, but I do a morning routine, but it involves running. Correr, right? Part 2 was morning routine, and this is what I thought. I mean, she basically described her morning routine. It's pretty difficult to know what they were going to talk about. So Falstaff. And these guys, it was kind of weird. For their morning routine, it was two guys, you know, dos hombres talking about if you ducharse, if you shower in the morning or in the evening. One guy showers in the morning every day, and the other guy's like, nah, I do it in the evening, and that's about it. Go, okay. And they wear something, you know, comfortable after showering. Does that help with vocab? No. And then, of course, bears, they just go. Like, shower, you just go out. You're ready when you wake up. Ready, go, right? It's more of the same. It's kind of funny because Lynn's response was very similar. Pod 3 turned out to be Osgood, which I should have figured since it deals with like an elegant jacket. But Osgood was kind of an oddball. Basically, the person talked about their jaqueta, right? Jaqueta elegante, right? Their elegant jacket, and it's comfortable, right? Comfortable. and they like wearing it in a la noche, at night, or in the evening, a la tarde. And yep, just because it's elegant doesn't make it a relic, you know, doesn't make it special. Not special. Which kind of reminds me of my discussion yesterday with someone that thinks they're incredibly special. Just because you say you're special doesn't quite make you special. Okay. Adventure. Oh, this one had a cork in it. I really like that they're starting to do like quirky things. So this is Lily's notebooks. Or notebook. Quaderno. Everyone's special in their own way, but sometimes we are the same special, so we are average. No, that's not what I'm referring to, but that's perfectly fine. I don't think to clarify, everyone may think, everyone is entitled to think they're special, but that doesn't make them special as a population. So if everyone thinks they're special, then they're average. Yes, but the word think is different from is. So if everyone thinks they're special, then they are average by thinking they're special. That's the difference between population statistics and individuality. So this person is saying that he is special, not he believes he is special. Like, you can believe things, and that makes you special. That's why special individualism is fantastic, because it circumvents comparison. Right? You are special because you believe you are special, and nothing can change that. Everyone thinking they're special makes it average. But you're still special. Everyone's still special. It's both are true. So it's not like sometimes or many times. If you have a group of people that think they're special in a large group, then you would be average. But when you're looking at every singular person, then they are special because they believe so. But this person was implicating that I am to believe that they are special compared to me. That's not how that works. That requires comparative analysis. Like that's like saying you're lesser than me because that's the reality. I'm like, no, that's not how that works. I can tell you if we are similar or not, and you can agree or disagree with whether we agree on the thing. That's kind of how comparative analysis works. But this person is more like narcissistic, casually narcissistic. I mean, I don't know what to take of it. Like, it's like, okay, I mean, that's fine, but you're not going to convince me that you're special by telling me you're special. Like, I understand that you believe you are special. That's fantastic. I hope it motivates you to do many things, not care about other people, sort of, in a functional way. But it also does mean you don't care about other people when you say that. Like, what I mean by that is, you can do both. As a human being, you could say, I'm special, but I also think other people are special. So therefore, I want to hear what they have to say. A person trying to gaslight another person to believing they're special, and that person doesn't believe it, then it means you don't care, as in you have no empathy for the other person. And that was where we were about yesterday, which was kind of weird. Yeah, this is what how does this relate? It's kind of what Oscar's saying. So this person believes their jacket is special. It's elegante, muy elegante, y cómodo, right? Or cómoda, chaqueta, su chaqueta. So their jacket is very special to them. It's very comfortable, it's elegant, it's their favorite jacket to wear in the evening. Oscar is saying, yes, it is very elegant and nice, but it doesn't make it special to others, like special in the comparatively in the grand scheme of things. And that's kind of a neat little deep cut that constantly is relevant to internet conversation, right? You can be special to yourself at any time. I actually think that is fantastic because that's why I use Duolingo. One of the big reasons why all the negativity around Duolingo didn't stop me from using Duolingo, because I think I can do something with it that is valuable to me. But in the grand scheme of things, using Duolingo is not special. Lots of people use Duolingo, and the way I use Duolingo might not actually be special. Someone else out there could be doing this. They could be writing on the screen, talking about their lives and doing, it's possible, which makes it not so special anymore. So they both can exist. Yeah, it's a fair point, and I agree with your statement. I just wanted to I wanted to add a few words in there to make it so that it is like even more clear. Everyone can think that they're special in their own way, for sure, and it's very powerful because it gets you to do things without having to compare with others. And then the greatest theft of that joy is by comparing yourself to the greater whole. Like, why learn Japanese when there are so many other people who learn Japanese better than you? That sucks. It's because Japanese is special to you, that you would still learn Japanese knowing that you won't learn faster than someone else, which was actually the conversation that person constantly brought up. Yeah, it's just crazy to hear. For me, it's crazy to hear, definitely, where you can use comparison, which is that whole special thing. You can use comparison to explain away everything. In fact, here's a crazy one that person brought up. They use the same logic to explain or make an argument. They take an observation and then they suggest it as though it's fact. Or, correlation is causation. So one of the comments they said was they don't want to wear glasses anymore. They're tired of wearing glasses, right? And they asked me and said, oh, you probably know the solution to how to heal your eyes. And I'm like, I don't. Maybe ask a specialist, like an optometrist or something. And that person responded, this happened yesterday, it's on from yesterday's video. That person's like, they laughed, right? So they laughed because they said like, well, that's optometry, that's a business. They want to keep you in the loop, bruh. Like, it's a business. They don't want you to heal your eyes. They just want you to pay for glasses so that put money in their pockets. And I'm like, well, yeah, certainly they get paid for doing that. And that, well, you don't understand that's why if I go there, I visit like 4 and I would say, hey, how do you heal my eyes naturally? And they just laugh at me with condescending tone. And I'm like, well, you just laughed at me in the same way. Do you not see the inherent... I didn't say this, but I thought they might notice themselves where they're laughing at my response. And so they continue by suggesting that I live in a blue pill in the Matrix, like I'm a blue pillar, which is something that's very common with people who take observations and then reinforce correlation is causation with confirmation bias. So they say like, oh, do you remember the Matrix? I'm like, well, yes, I know the premise of the Matrix. It's pretty interesting premise. Like, well, I'm Neo. And I'm like, oh, okay. So you're telling me you're a red pillar, or I didn't say that, but they were implying they're a red pillar. So you live outside the system. And why do you act like the system? And why do you use evidence from the system? It's weird. So here's they suggested a rhetoric to me about the glasses thing. It's like, don't you, isn't it weird, quote unquote, isn't it weird that people in this generation have increasing glasses wearing, right? And I'm like, yeah, but that's a far leap to suggest that optometry is keeping the cure for healing your eyeballs naturally because they want to make money. Something superseded another thing. It's like lots of people wear glasses, or there's an increasing number of glasses. Yeah, there's also an increasing number of cell phone use. There's also an increasing number of screen time. There's also increasing number of people who think that they are main characters and do not obey healthy regulatory behavior. There are many ways to correlate coincidences together. That, to me, is the same as thinking you're special and therefore you are. Or the other way around, you think you're average because everyone else has done it too. That is taking what you observe and doing a one-dimensional leap of logic, confirmation bias, causation equals correlation equals causation in order to forward any of your premise. So, is this person special? Well, I do believe, and I find it agreeable that they think they're special. However, if they're telling me what I know about myself because they know more than I do about myself, that is a recipe for poor understanding of what comparative analysis actually is. And that is where the conversation actually ended. Or they said some other stuff, and they also gave that condescending tone, or at least in my opinion, that condescending tone about saying they're proud of me and proud of my progress. This is the second time that's occurred. And I think Procol had a very reasonable retort the first time I mentioned it. And then I'm not sure if Kurtle, you were here and stuff. Sometimes people are just trying to be nice, right? But when you place all the converging conversation together, you kind of get a gist of, no, that is more like someone thinking they're better than you, telling you that they're proud of you. Like, it's 2 days in a row. They asked me questions about like politics and spiritualism. It was and every time I asked them a question, they would deflect. So they yesterday it was like a line of questions that was very obvious where they were going, and I figured, okay. So they asked me things like, "Oh, hey, so do you agree that there are some people out there that said you should only learn 2 languages max because that's the best for your brain, and you shouldn't learn a lot of languages at once, right? Because that's relevant to what I'm doing." And their phrasing is always, "Do you agree?" And I'm like, well, I suppose it seems agreeable. There's going to be enough population of people who learn one language at a time, or learn the language to sufficiency and then pick up another language. It's like, that sounds reasonable, so I find it agreeable. And they're like, "So you agree?" I'm like, I said I find it agreeable. And then they're like, "Yeah, because the people, the fake polyglots out there who put out their program and say, oh, you can learn like 5 languages at the same time," and they basically only remembered basic phrases and whatnot in order to sell their products. Like, well, I want to hold my tongue there. You don't know if they're fake polyglots. They could be polyglots who very much believe that their product works for them because they believe they are special enough and have enough experience that they still genuinely believe their products work. That is very different from someone using the product and finding after the fact that it doesn't work. So jumping the gun and suggesting that anybody who has a belief and a motivation that is different from yours as fake, trash, and unacceptable, that is exactly the same type of person who constantly think that they're better than the person they're talking to. So in what way should I be trying to answer your question if you're constantly suggesting that you write people off immediately, right? And I say this because I don't actually know those polyglots and whatnot. So I asked them, can you describe the nature of these polyglots? And it's like hand wavy things that build an absurd amount of one-sided argument. Like, oh, these are fake because obviously he knows after the fact they don't work. And I'm like, I'm not even sure if you know if they don't work. And, there's other things. If they manage to get someone to learn language, and then that language learning becomes a learning lesson that achieves something that someone around twiddling their thumbs thinking it shouldn't exist did less. They did less. You, instead of encouraging people to learn language, you decide to go around and take down people. So that's one of those like pet peeves, a few of those pet peeves I have, where in order to make a case for genuine improvement and self-improvement, you choose to spend most of your energy tearing down things as opposed to using that experience or special experience to build things up. So that's kind of like, my product is better because yours suck. Like, well, I don't know how your product is better. You just said you spent 90% of your time saying something else sucked. That's like presenting an argument and only talking about the good things on your position and only focusing on the bad things of the things that you're against. And that is how all of the questions are phrased. And then at the end, that person was trying to sound profound by saying, oh, have you considered this alternative perspective? Yeah, that perspective is still your perspective. Have you considered that we spent the last 2 days talking and answering questions, and you have only offered me one way of responding, and then you use that one way to say I only believe in the opposite? When I say I find this disagreeable, that doesn't necessarily mean I agree with it. And that's where it came to a foot. Like at the end, I was saying, well, let me offer you a rhetoric. Have you ever reflected upon yourself on the way you ask questions and talk to people in which you infer things without confirming nor denying or even thinking about alternative answers to them? Like, have you possibly asked an open-ended question for once? And that person's response immediately was, oh, that's probably just the way I talk. I'm like, okay. Did you not get anything from that? Like, just the way you talk. So you're saying that after pointing out all these things, you're just gonna, okay, that's fine. So it's like talking to a narcissist, right? Like, okay, are we exchanging ideas? Do you even ask questions because you're curious, or do you ask questions looking for the confirmation or like, are you looking for an answer? Because I'm certainly not going to give you your answer, probably. It's so weird. This is hasn't happened in a long while, but the person was fishing for responses because they asked about like Taoist, CCP, like they're farming for responses. And I'm like, well, I can't tell you anything about that. I don't have experience with that. I don't go around arrogantly thinking that I know how the universe works. All of a sudden, if you know how the universe works, stop asking questions and fishing affirmation from a stranger who you clearly don't care about. Very, very direct. So believing you're special is really, really wonderful. So we're over, going back to the whole special, being able to believe that you're very special goes a long way. It is not exclusive of understanding what the reality is. It's great to have both, and that's a great example of your statement is a great example of how they both can coexist, right? Crazy, really, really wild. I'm still reflecting on it. He's that person certainly left an impression on me, and I'm thinking of different ways to navigate that. My only those are my thoughts. What I actually said was, if you're presenting me with a rhetoric, I want to present you with a rhetoric. Have you considered that you have a very myopic and closed way of interacting with someone, and it doesn't feel like you ever listen to the other person? Or I didn't really say listen in that way, but I was pointing out the person's like line of inquiry. It's like someone coming up. It's a regular thing. This is a regular thing. It comes up. Do you think Spanish is hard? Do you think Japanese is the hardest language you'll ever learn? That is singular. It's asking for confirmation. So most of the time when I respond, I'm like, okay, well, can we qualify something so that we don't get into this gaslighty dependent thing? It's like, what are your thoughts about Japanese? Provided you are an English speaker. That is different from saying, do you think Japanese is the hardest language that you'll ever learn? Not that it's bad or good. It tells me a lot about the person, though. It tells me that they think Japanese is the hardest. They probably assume a lot of things about me. I'm an English speaker, and I only speak English. Therefore, that's why they would ask the question in that way. And they probably are a monolingual English speaker in that same condition, right? The way people ask questions reveal a lot about their personalities without actually having to ask them anything. So naturally, I thought, I'll just keep answering questions, hearing what this person says, and that's what I kind of gleaned from them. Will I hear from them again? I wouldn't be surprised. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if I hear from that person again. Sometimes it's weird. Okay, so slight digression. It was interesting. The last 2 days, that was the only conversation I had, so naturally I thought about what I could do in that situation. Okay, so Lily's notebook, they actually used a new term, cuaderno, as opposed to like libro or something. So I think we're like in a student store. So here's a bookshelf. I got some bookshelves, and then we have a cart down here with some notebooks. Then we have a desk. I think this was Bea. And then Falstaff is just chilling back here. And who are we? Oh yeah, Lily. So, we got some stuff here. So Lily goes to Bea, and Lily's like, "Oh, I need a book. I need a notebook. I need 2 notebooks." And Bea was like, "Okay, so what kind of color do you want?" And Lily was like, moredo y azul, right? Purple and blue, because Lily likes the purple spectrum, bluish area. And Bea was like, "Oh, okay, go to Falstaff, Ai over there, so back there, and ask him for it, right?" So then we go all the way over here, and we ask Falstaff, "Can we get a notebook?" And Lily said, "Can I get a purple and blue, 1 purple and 1 blue notebook?" And Falstaff's like, "Okay, here you go. Here's the purple notebook." And then they did something different from the last time. The last time it was, can you repeat that? Like, oh, hey, I missed the last part. Can you repeat that? Kind of situation. This time, it's the other way around. So Falstaff says, oh, and here's, you want a red notebook, right? You want a red notebook. And your choice was, oh, no, I wanted a blue notebook because I don't like red notebooks. I never use red notebooks. So now they have follow-up segments where if the person recalled incorrectly, you have to correct them, which is nice because it's like a step in the direction. You heard red notebook and thought of red note. Oh yeah, Hong the app, yeah. Let's see. So Falstaff's like, okay. So in terms of blue notebooks, it's somewhere around here. It's on a rack somewhere. So you ended up going down here with a cart and grabbing the blue notebook. Then you go to Bea to pay for it, right? And then that's it. So one of the new things that are starting to sprout up in the adventure is follow-up conversation. So situations where maybe you didn't hear correctly, but in both directions. And that's kind of neat. I think that's a great way to find a way to introduce how you would resolve not hearing something clearly or someone else mistaking what you were saying, so you wanted to correct them. That is something new in the last 2 units. Yeah. And that's it. I don't recall any new vocabulary having to do this. So let's go check our word section. Let's see. So, yep, we covered cepillarse, right? Cepillarse, and then cepillo de dientes, our toothbrush, and then cepillo. Cepillo is the brush part. Tuyo, suyo, mío, right? And then we went through ponerse, etc. Levantar, lavar. And then we have cara, face. Cara, lien, right? Lien. And what was face in? What's it? Cowl, right? Cowl. And then cabello for hair. And then there's mío. And then we have showering, which we covered. Mano, covered that. And that's it. We covered everything. Usually grammar units tend to be low on new vocabulary. It's more focusing on the grammar side of things. Okay. Talk about school. Let's look at our guidebook. Los chicos están estudiando. Oh, we have present progressive. So we're using gerunds now. Gerunds. Present progressive. Están estudiando ahora mismo. I was using gerunds for a while now because you could say it without the gerund in Spanish and it could be interpreted in English as a gerund, and that's kind of what they were doing. But then I was literally doing gerunds. So this is a new grammar point or new conjugation. So Margarita está haciendo su tarea. She is currently doing her homework. ¿Qué estás haciendo ahora? What are you currently doing, or what are you doing now? I in my head always say, like, always fill in like currently doing, because of present progressive. Estoy saliendo de la escuela ahora mismo. Right? No new vocabularies, just conjugation. El maestro está leyendo la lección. Oh, lección is a new one. Leyendo. I forgot about the Y on some of the double E's. Okay, ¿estás escuchando? To say what you are doing right now, use a form of estar plus a verb like to estar, to be, and then in endo, or for AR verbs, ando. That's good enough. Estoy estudiando, and then ir and ir are yendo, and then we also have special ones. If there is a vowel before yendo, you use endo. Yep, leyendo. So double E's, A's, all the vowels. Hablando, and then leyendo is the only one that I can think of at the moment without being special, because there are special ones too, which we'll probably not cover until later. All right, let's get into it.
¿Quién está hablando?
¿Quién está hablando? Who's talking or who's speaking?
¿Estás hablando con tu profesora?
Yo? No, estoy hablando con mi novia. Did that guy just call this person's girlfriend the professor? That's funny.
¿Tú estás escuchando?
Who is it? I mean, it could be both. Their girlfriend could be the professor. ¿Tú estás escuchando? Okay.
Tienes que estudiar hoy.
Tienes que estudiar hoy. Interesting. How's this contrasting between... I'm guessing they're putting this into contrast between a gerund and other phrases, have to phrases. So estar plus something in gerund is two components. So I'm guessing they are using another two component thing that typically comes up, which is to have to do something. So they're using tener que to compare with estar plus verb, right? Because tener que is tener que plus verb, but in the infinitive. Fred, ¿sabes que tenemos que estudiar para el examen?
Examen.
Okay.
Bruno tiene que estudiar más.
Uh,
Bruno tiene que
estudiar más.
es más.
Okay.
Pablo, estudia la lección.
Lección. Oh, and our command. That's right. We also have command. 2 units ago. Command. Yes, I think it's 2 units ago. I will study the lesson.
¿Estás escuchando al profesor?
No, porque la lección es aburrida. Okay. Jeez. Are you listening to the professor? No, because the lesson is boring.
Ella quiere hablar con Laura.
Ella quiere hablar con Laura. So, wait, did you say how you're recovering from your sickness? What do you do when you're sick, Colonel? How do you go about making yourself comfortable? Besides listening to me rant about my weird encounters. Ella quiere hablar con Laura, and then we have the double to want, and then plus a verb.
¿Por qué quieres hablar con la maestra? ¿Por qué?
¿Por qué quieres hablar con maestra o la maestra?
Maestra.
Okay.
Los padres
quieren hablar con el maestro. Boring foods and try to be sick, like soup, saltine, crackers, try to eat. And okay, I even started tracking food, and I know that's the hardest. Lots of water, just chill like today. You wanted to go to CrossFit, but you don't want to get people sick if you, yeah. Do you have a fever? That kind of sounds like, if you're having trouble eating as well, that kind of sounds like flu. Did you check if you have the big C or the little C? Not the big C, the little C.
Ahora mismo estoy estudiando.
Ahora mismo estoy estudiando. I'm not sure if they're still giving out like free at-home kits, but generally speaking, it's kind of always nice to check if you're little C, if you got little C. Inexpensively, of course, inexpensive. Ahora mismo estoy estudiando. Right now I am studying. Okay.
¿Dónde estás?
¿Dónde está estudiando ahora mismo?
Necesito ayuda con una lección de chino.
¿De chino? ¿Tú también estás estudiando chino? Okay.
Los estudiantes.
Los estudiantes are in. Just,
Está el.
classroom.
Aula.
Aula? I don't actually know what classroom is.
Aula.
Is that masculine too? Oh, aula. Aula is masculine as well. Interesting. I actually don't know what classroom is. Why aren't you highlighted? Oh, okay, they're just gonna aula me. Alright, that's fine. Sure.
Nosotros.
Nosotros estamos en el aula ahora. Okay. It was just cough, and the doctor said you look fine and you don't know what it is, to be honest. Okay. I think it's stress and you're in the military, so they always offer COVID and strep tests. Okay, cool. Excellent. That's such a peace of mind to have accessibility for that. So you're just chilling, saltines, huh? And soup. What kind of soup do you go for? Honestly, saltines and soup just sound, to me, sounds like a very fantastic staple food. Staple setup. Not necessarily just for sickness, per se.
Maestro.
El maestro está hablando con Pedro en el aula.
Está hablando con Pedro en el aula.
Aula. Like, aula sounds like ow plus it hurt. So la in Chinese, so aula. Like, I just got hurt. Ow. Aula. That's kind of funny.
¿Qué estás comiendo?
¿Qué estás comiendo? We are, when are we eating this? Or what are we eating? What are you eating? ¿Qué
Estoy
estás-
comiendo.
Estoy comiendo mi sándwich favorito.
¿Qué
Good on you.
haces? ¿Estás comiendo en el aula?
¿Qué haces? ¿Estás comiendo en el aula? Sí, es tarde y tengo hambre. Like, what are you doing? Are you eating in the classroom? It's like, yeah, it's late and I'm hungry.
Tenemos un examen hoy.
Tenemos un examen hoy. Estoy estudiando para examen. El. Oh, I totally skipped el. I even heard myself skip el. I'm like,
Quiero
Okay.
aprender italiano.
quiero aprender italiano. Okay.
Quiero aprender más español.
Quiero aprender más
Más.
español.
Español.
¿Qué estás haciendo ahora?
¿Qué estás haciendo ahora?
Nosotros estamos haciendo sándwiches.
No,
Nosotros.
nosotros estamos haciendo
Sándwiches.
sándwiches. Making sandwiches.
¿Este diccionario es tuyo?
Este diccionario es tuyo. Okay. Is this dictionary yours?
Tengo que hacer mi tarea ahora.
Oh, tengo que hacer mi tarea ahora.
Sara no
Sara no tiene que hacer la tarea.
¿Por qué estás aprendiendo alemán?
¿Por qué está aprendiendo alemán? Alemán. Yo estoy aprendiendo español en la aula 12. 12. Aula
Español.
12.
12. Aula.
Oh, like number. Classroom number. Class 12. I see. ¿Ustedes también? Ahora
Ahora
estoy aprendiendo
estoy
mucho.
mucho.
Oh,
Aquí.
wait a
Aquí.
minute. Do you really need aquí? I
Aquí.
guess. No? Oh, mismo. Oh, ahora mismo. That makes sense. That makes more sense than ahora aquí. Okay. Ahora mismo.
Necesito.
Necesito el diccionario de español.
El español.
A. I can indefinite. Where is my ¿dónde está mi
Diccionario.
diccionario? Ahora mismo,
Mucho.
ups.
Mismo.
Ahora mismo estoy aprendiendo mucho.
Mucho.
Necesito un diccionario de español. Also, in the long run, that person could be trolling Turtle, right? In the long run, you're on the internet. It could simply be trolling someone trying to get a rise out of you. But I usually use it as a form of telling stories, you know? It's great to share these stories. Kind of fun. You remember them because you tell stories.
Esa nota es mía.
Esa nota es mía. No? Just notes? Okay. ¿Qué estás escribiendo? Oops.
La maestra es...
La maestra está escribiendo una nota.
¿Qué tienes que escribir?
¿Qué tienes que escribir? Oops, that's the wrong right. Tengo que... ¿Ne? Tengo que escribir mucho para la examen de español.
Escribir. Asignatura.
Asignatura. I mean, everything else is fine.
Tengo que
Tengo que escribir mucho en esta clase.
Queremos abrir
Queremos
los
abrir
libros.
los libros. That's kind of weird.
No queremos.
No queremos abrir los libros.
Queremos abrir la puerta de la biblioteca, pero está cerrada.
Creo que ella vive en Estados Unidos. ¿Qué tiene que leer a esta hora? That's a fair one. Why do you have to read at this hour?
¿Estás saliendo ahora mismo?
¿Estás saliendo ahora mismo? Hola, Ana. Estoy saliendo de la escuela. ¿Clase? Clase de español. Pero me tengo que ir. Hasta luego.
Luego.
Pero me tengo que ir. Yeah.
La pizarra de la clase
La
es negra.
pizarra. I believe that's a blackboard or chalkboard. Wait, which one is it?
Pizarra.
What the? How do you give me both choices?
Pizarra.
All right, that's fine. La pizarra. The class chalkboard is negro. And it's talking about black. Wait. What about you? So how do you handle yourself when sick? That's a good question. Theoretically, I would do very much the same. At least it's not saying the student is black. Wait, but something's missing. Okay, is it saying the chalkboard in the class is black? Hypothetically, yeah. Lots of fluids, lots of fluids. And I probably, if I have respiratory problems, I probably pace around, keep my temperature up. Make my temperature naturally, my body temperature naturally high. But I don't remember the last time I was sick in that way. So I have respiratory allergies around this time of season, so it could feel like it's like when someone says it's just a cough or it's just runny nose, I feel like I can empathize with that, but it wouldn't be the same as being sick. As in, even if I have respiratory allergies or like I'm constantly blowing my nose or having something coughing, I would still go and do my normal thing because I'm not contagious or anything. I like go out, do my run. The run makes me feel better because my body temperature goes up and then the mucus kind of run its course. So I would do relatively the same things then. I probably go for a run when I'm sick in order to increase my body temperature and whatnot. But I haven't had body fatigue before. I know that flu symptoms like COVID and the influenza can create body fatigue. So if say body fatigue, I would still try to like walk around and maybe walk around like a stuffed animal or something, like have a blanket around me and have my body temperature elevated while I'm walking around in order to promote. I would get through the day as long as possible while holding my body temperature as high as possible or comfortably without me like passing out or something. And then because my body temperature is so elevated, consume a lot of water and then try to get myself tired and then go back to bed, right? So walking around and doing some activity to elevate the body is when I'm like too wired to go to bed. Ideally, go to bed and sleep for as long as possible without making you without producing discomfort. And of course, making sure to bundle up while you're in bed. However, sleeping too long dehydrates you. You you lose a lot of water while you're sleeping. So having water next to you or having a source of water next to you is always nice. So water or soup. I usually consume vast quantities of soup because soup is warm and warm leads to elevating your body temperature as well. I think a lot of the psychological side of things, when something is discomforting, if it's unnaturally discomforting, then it tends to be more discomforting. So if your body temperature is high because you're running a fever or something, because you're sick, but you're not working out and or drinking soup or eating something hot, it can be exceptionally seen like discomforting because you're not doing anything to have that. So oftentimes when I have respiratory problems from allergies and stuff, I would go and do some physical activity. So when my body temperature goes up, it feels like I did this. So I intentionally elevated my body temperature and it's less discomforting than doing something while your body temperature is elevated for no reason. It's a psychological thing. I'm not saying there's like science or anything behind it. Like when you tell yourself, why am I so hot right now? Because you have a fever and you're trying everything to keep your fever down. So whenever I'm like thinking if I were to be sick, it's been a while. I think I talked about this a couple of times. I don't remember the last time I was sick. It like with a virus infection or even a long-standing bacterial infection. I have been necrotically infected before. So, like, infected from an outside source. But flu and stuff, not quite there. like getting sick from consuming something is the last time I remembered. And those are temporary, right? Those are very temporary. Once you expunge that, and usually it's like bacterial of nature, where like, well, you're either going to get infected very terribly and you need some antibiotics to fight it off, or you upchuck it in the toilet and you're good to go.
Ahora estoy abriendo la ventana.
But I guess the goal is, if I'm awake and I have to be awake, I'm going to do something to keep my body temperature elevated, and then as comforting as possible, and still get through my day while my body temperature is elevated. And then when I go to bed, leave water nearby and whatnot and stay as high as possible. And wishful thinking for tomorrow. What those specifics would look like is putting on, wrapping your favorite blanket around you, like 3 extra blankets around you, and then pacing around the house. And then pacing around the house with phone in one hand and maybe like a hot beverage in the other hand, and just sipping, looking at the phone while pacing around the house or something like that. That sounds like a fun comic strip, right? Something like that. And you just like walk around while staring at your screen, right? And you have a cup of Joe here. And you just have a very comfortable blanket. And you're just like a walking gnome. Ahora estoy abriendo la ventana. Okay. Oops.
Él está abriendo Duolingo en su celular. Él
está abriendo español. Oh, no. Abriendo. Oh, no. Escuchando Duolingo.
Él está abriendo Duolingo en su celular.
Abriendo. Oh, they're not listening to Duolingo. They're opening Duolingo. Okay.
¿Qué tienes que hacer?
¿Qué tienes que hacer? Hacer. What are you doing? Tengo que limpiar las pizarras. That's one thing. You have to clean.
Estamos abriendo los libros de español.
Estamos abriendo los libros de español.
Estamos abriendo los libros de español.
Okay.
Mano.
Página.
Diente.
Mío. Notas.
Él está abriendo Duolingo en su celular.
Él está
escuchando Duolingo en grande.
Celular. Abriendo. I did it again. Está abriendo
Duolingo en celular.
It's fine. Daijoubu.
¿Qué estás leyendo?
Estás leyendo. Oh. Let's go fast. ¿Estás leyendo el mismo libro que yo? Esta mañana estamos leyendo un periódico. Oh, periódico. Not a question.
¿Qué estás dibujando?
¿Qué estás dibujando? Okay.
Los niños están dibujando.
Los niños están dibujando.
Nosotros
estamos dibujando flores.
¿Qué tienes que leer?
What do you have to read? Okay. Tengo que leer este libro para la clase.
Queremos más escuelas aquí.
Okay. Ah. Queremos más escuelas aquí. That's okay. Julia, las escuelas en tu pueblo son buenas.
Escuelas.
Escuelas mix buenas.
¿Qué quiere dibujar Miguel?
Okay.
haces con esos lápices de colores?
Zari quiere dibujar flores en las aulas. Oh, okay. Why do you want color pencils? Or why do you want to? Yeah, these color pencils.
¿Qué quieren beber ustedes?
¿Qué quieren beber ustedes? Stop.
Los estudiantes quieren beber más agua.
Los estudiantes beber más agua. Ahora. Quieren. Oh, yeah.
Los niños
Los niños quieren beber leche.
Estoy bebiendo mi leche ahora.
Mi leche. Yeah.
¿Qué haces? ¿Estás bebiendo jugo de naranja en clase?
Sí, ¿quieres un poco? Do you want some? Do you want a little?
Los estudiantes quieren beber más agua. Los estudiantes
quieren beber más agua. Okay. So, aula, huh?
Los estudiantes quieren beber más agua.
Las estudiantes quieren beber más agua. Okay. Ahora mismo. Solo ahora mismo nota pizarra and something else. Aula. Not too many vocabulary words. It's more of a grammar unit. Ahora mismo estoy aprendiendo mucho.
Él está abriendo Duolingo en su celular. Él está abriendo Duolingo en su celular.
Necesito un... Oh, wait, diccionario. Diccionario as well.
Español.
Tienes que hacer tu tarea ahora mismo.
Tienes que hacer tu tarea ahora mismo. Oh, right now. Okay, yeah.
La pizarra de la clase es negra. La pizarra de de pizarra de clase es negra. La pizarra de la clase es negra.
Ella está bebiendo agua en la clase.
You know, I remember a time when you're not allowed food or beverage in the class, but specifically beverages. That's interesting. And then by the time I got to like college and then on, it was very customary to have like water or water bottles in class. That's kind of an interesting thing. Times certainly have changed. I remember when water wasn't even permitted. Like any form of beverage was not permitted in the classroom. Interesting.
No tienes que escribir con este bolígrafo.
That's when I started bringing a water bottle. I got more accustomed to having a water bottle later in life, but in high school it was not a thing.
No tienes que escribir con este bolígrafo.
No tienes que escribir con bolígrafo. O
Es
bolígrafo.
¿Por qué estás bebiendo mi agua?
My water.
¿Qué quiere
¿Qué quiere dibujar, Miguel? ¿Dibujar? ¿Miguel? I hate you, Junior. ¿Qué quiere dibujar, Miguel? Shut up, Junior.
Tienes que hacer mucha tarea.
¿Qué haces con esos lápices de colores?
Okay. Alright. It's a quick unit today. Another quick unit. Not bad, not bad.
¿Quién está hablando?
¿Quién está hablando?
Los niños
Los niños quieren beber leche.
Necesito hablar con la maestra.
Tengo que leer este libro para la clase.
Tengo que
Leer.
leer la lección.
Tengo que leer este libro para la clase.
Este
Es libro.
para la clase.
¿Qué haces con mi diccionario?
Estoy aprendiendo palabras en español. That's fine.
Escuela.
Quiero aprender en esta clase.
¿Tienes que estudiar hoy? ¿De qué?
Me encanta escribir en la pizarra.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that.
Ahora estamos en el aula. La lección de español no es fácil, pero la maestra nos ayuda con la tarea.
¿Tienes que hacer mucha tarea? Tienes que hacer mucha tarea.
Ahora estamos saliendo de la clase de francés. En 10 minutos tenemos un examen de chino. Después vamos a la biblioteca y leemos mucho.
What? Ahora estamos saliendo. Oh, they're not going. But they are currently going to a French class. That's what I was thinking. No puedo salir. Estoy leyendo un libro y tengo que leer 20 páginas más. Estamos abriendo.
Al abrir.
Queremos ya.
¿Qué?
¿Por qué? ¿Qué bebiendo? Estás bebiendo mi agua. Mi agua.
Pues estamos.
Conjugation.
Los niños
Los niños están escuchando y escribiendo.
Mi pueblo
Mi pueblo tiene 3 escuelas. Alright, time for the story. Easily best part, actually.
Mi primera pintura.
Us good.
Eddie va al apartamento de Oscar. Eddie tiene una pintura en las manos.
¿Qué es eso, Eddie?
Es mi primera pintura.
Okay.
¿Puedes mirarla?
Wants to paint a picture of Oscar? No.
No.
Pero eres profesor de arte.
Sí, y soy muy honesto.
Honesto.
Eso me gusta.
Y tú vas a llorar.
Llorar. To cry. Tú vas a llorar and you are going to cry? Okay.
Pero yo quiero tener tu opinión sobre mi pintura.
Opinión.
No es buena.
¿Cómo lo sabes?
Almost he's just straight up like, no, I don't have to look at it. It's bad.
No eres artista. Y
Oof. Oh. Oh yeah, and it's your first. That's
Las primeras pinturas nunca son buenas.
Mírala, por favor, Oscar.
Está bien.
Oscar mira la pintura.
Okay.
Eddie, esta pintura es...
¿Sí?
muy buena.
Nice.
Sí, qué bueno. Soy un buen artista.
Ahora vete, por favor.
Ahora vete. Please leave. Oh, why was Oxford so surprised? He thought his was never good. Wait, why was he surprised? Eddie has always been, Eddie only paints with, I guess this one is kind of okay. Pintura sobre buena profesor, sabes. Oh, I kind of want to see what they didn't describe it. I needed to. What did Eddie actually draw? Come on, man. I thought there was gonna be a twist, like Eddie. Este es foto, like una foto. No es artista, no es pintura or something. Like, oh, this is a photo, Eddie, not a painting.
Mi primera
Or something.
pintura. Eddie va al apartamento de Oscar. Eddie tiene una pintura en las manos.
¿Qué es eso, Eddie?
Es mi primera pintura. ¿Puedes mirarla?
No.
Pero eres profesor de arte.
Sí, y soy muy honesto.
Eso me gusta.
Y tú vas a llorar.
Yeah, so he's saying I'm very honest and you'll cry. Yeah.
Pero yo quiero
going to
tener
cry.
tu opinión sobre mi pintura.
No es buena.
¿Cómo lo sabes?
No eres artista. Y es...
So here's the thing, right? You're sampling as a professor, a profesor de arte. Oftentimes you have to normalize it to every other person's first painting. So of course, if you're gonna take it out of time, out of place, and say, oh, your first one is always not as good as your later ones, it's like, yeah, you can make absolute comments about that when you're thinking about it, longevity, which I like. I do like following the whole idea of thinking about the progress, the journey, right? But this is more like taking the journey and thinking about the end results and then comparing where the current result is, as opposed to saying, oh, this is pretty good for your first painting, as opposed to saying it's never going to be good because it's your first painting, which is...
Las primeras pinturas nunca son buenas.
Yeah, see, this is... The first picture is never good.
Mírala, por favor, por favor.
But I like the message here.
Está bien.
He actually
Oscar
liked it.
mira la pintura.
Eddie, esta pintura
Is.
es...
¿Sí?
muy buena.
He didn't sound as enthusiastic as I thought he was going
Sí,
to.
qué bueno. Soy un buen artista.
Ahora vete, por favor.
Or he could be just saying it's good so that he can get Eddie to leave. No, I don't think. Oscar is not that mean. Apartamento honesto. Pintora. Eres profesor. Okay. Alright. It was okay. I was expecting more shenanigans. I like shenanigans. Alright, it's time to type. I gotta type some stuff here.
Lápiz.
Lápiz.
Cara.
Cara.
Lección.
Lección. Toothbrush. Cepillar.
Miguel,
Miguel, tienes que estudiar la lección.
necesito hablar con la maestra.
Ahora mismo estamos estudiando español.
El maestro está hablando con Pedro en el aula.
Los padres quieren hablar con el maestro. Ella no está escuchando a la maestra.
Tenemos que estudiar. ¿Qué?
Ellos están estudiando en el aula.
Escucha.
¿Por qué? Ni están hablando.
Oh. To the radio? Do I need... No, I don't. Yeah, it's understood.
Escuchando. Música.
Okay. Oh, who is... I don't know. Oops. Okay. Fair enough. Up and away.
Mío.
Mío.
Exámenes.
Exámenes.
Nota.
Nota.
Pa-
Página.
Tienes que
estudiar para el examen. El examen.
Él está comiendo con sus amigos. Comiendo.
Quiero aprender italiano.
Yo estoy
Yo estoy comiendo en el café.
Quiero aprender 3 idiomas.
Yeah, I want to learn 3 languages. Me too.
¿Qué estás haciendo ahora?
Yeah.
¿Qué estás haciendo ahora?
Oh.
Estoy aprendiendo español. También quiero aprender chino. Y me encanta escuchar canciones en inglés.
What a kawinky dink. Le interesan mucho los idiomas.
Estamos aprendiendo mucho con este diccionario.
Estamos haciendo la tarea de francés. Es muy difícil. No entendemos muchas palabras.
¿Qué tienes que hacer ahora mismo?
Estoy estudiando para el examen.
Pues estamos.
Ellos
Hmm.
haciendo un curso de alemán.
¿Eh? Oh no. Oh no. Diccionario. Right. Esta diccionario. Oh no, no. Este diccionario. Es tuyo? Oh, no accent. No accent. I could have sworn diccionario. Really? Okay.
Despacio.
Despacio. Llave.
Cepillo.
Cepillo. Notas.
Esa
Esa nota es mía.
Tenemos que escribir de qué
Queremos abrir ese ventana. I thought that was a question.
Los niños están escuchando y escribiendo.
Queremos
Queremos abrir.
abrir.
Libros que...
No tienes que escribir. ¿Qué?
Estamos abriendo los libros de español.
La maestra está escribiendo unas palabras en alemán en la pizarra y nosotros leemos esas palabras.
Holy, that's a mouthful. Ellos están en una clase de lengua.
Ahora estoy abriendo la ventana.
Ahora estamos saliendo de la clase de francés. En 10 minutos tenemos un examen de chino. Después vamos a la biblioteca y...
Ustedes tienen que escribir más rápido.
I was gonna say more faster.
Abrir.
Me encanta. Me encanta escribir. On. En la pizarra. No. Pizarra. No. Pizarra. Oh no. Oh, okay. Pizarra. Okay, it's fine. Oh, no accent. What am I doing? I'm putting accents everywhere. Oh, heckin' day. Whoops, that's movement. Okay. I'm gonna put in just to see if they get mad at me. Okay, they don't. That's fine.
Escuelas.
Escuelas.
Lavarse.
Lavarse.
Despacio.
Espacio.
Página.
¿Qué está?
¿Qué está dibujando?
¿Qué tienes que leer? ¿Qué?
¿Qué quieren ver?
¿Qué quieren beber los maestros? ¿Beber?
Mi pueblo tiene 3 escuelas.
Los niños están bebiendo sus jugos.
¿Qué quieren beber? Quieren.
Las escuelas aquí son muy buenas.
Estamos dibujando en la clase de arte. Lucía quiere dibujar caballos y a mí me encanta dibujar perros.
Esta mañana estamos leyendo un periódico.
Ella está bebiendo agua en la clase.
Quiere. Estoy.
Okay. What is the teacher reading? ¿Qué está leyendo la maestro? ¿Por qué la maestro está leyendo? Let's try this. ¿Qué está leyendo la maestra? Or el maestra. Sure. Maestro. Or la. Okay, that's fine.
¿Por qué? Ese niño.
Quiere dibujar.
Dibujar.
Oh, no.
No.
No quiero. ¿Qué quieren? ¿Qué quieren beber? Sneeze. Beber. ¿Qué quieren beber? Los maestros. ¿Por qué? Why are you drinking? ¿Por qué estás bebiendo mi agua? ¿Qué tienes que leer?
Tienes que hacer mucha tarea.
Ah.
Los estudiantes es saliendo de la biblioteca.
¿Qué tienes que hacer ahora mismo? ¿Qué? Mi.
Tienes que hacer tu tarea ahora mismo.
¿Qué quiere beber? Maestro.
Okay. Estamos aprendiendo mucho con este diccionario.
¿Por qué?
Porque ese
niño.
niño quiere dibujar.
Dibujar.
No quiere.
No.
Los chicos están comiendo el almuerzo, or can I do that? Okay, yeah. It's plugging in articles, you know, if it's plugging in articles liberally. Nosotros estamos aprendiendo mucho español. Except for language, I suppose. Este diccionario es tuyo. Today is going pretty smoothly. No mixing up, like no shenanigans with constant article stuff.
Los
padres quieren hablar con el maestro.
Esa nota es mía.
Okay. Ooh. No, that's gonna be a vocative, right? Oh, if it's not a vocative, I'm gonna be a little butthead about
Mi
this.
pueblo tiene 3 escuelas.
Escuchando.
Excuse me? Okay. They must have not looked very carefully there. Excuse me?
Abrir.
Estoy comiendo mi sándwich favorito.
Oh, and I'm not gonna be able to see it because this is legend.
Estoy comiendo mi sándwich favorito. Esta mañana estamos leyendo un periódico.
Estamos dibujando en la clase de arte. Lucía quiere...
¿Tú estás estudiando la lección? Tú estás estudiando la lección.
Estoy aprendiendo español. También quiero aprender chino.
¿Qué estás escribiendo? ¿Qué estás escribiendo?
Oh, escribiendo. ¿Cuántas pisadas? ¿Tiene la clase? ¿O la clase tiene? No. Los estudiantes quieren beber más agua. Okay. Alright, time to chill. Review.
El diario. Sari y Lili están en la escuela.
Lili, tengo miedo. No encuentro mi diario.
¿Y cuál es el problema?
Yo escribo sobre Miguel en mi diario.
¿Miguel? ¿El chico de nuestra clase?
Sí, tengo que encontrar mi diario.
Ah, está bien.
Ellas buscan el diario.
Lo siento, no encuentro tu diario.
Es el peor día de mi vida.
Ellas ven a Miguel. Él tiene un diario rosado.
Ay, no. Es Miguel y tiene mi diario.
Hola, Sari. ¿Este es tu diario?
¿No?
Pero tiene tu nombre.
Sí, es mi diario, pero...
No te preocupes. No puedo leer tu letra.
perfecto.
¿Quieres ir conmigo al cine el viernes?
Sí.
Hasta el viernes. Adiós.
Adiós. Lily, es el mejor día de mi vida.
Nombre, leer, mejor, cine, encuentro.
El diario. Sari y Lily están en la escuela.
Lily, tengo miedo. No encuentro mi diario.
¿Y cuál es el problema?
Yo escribo sobre Miguel en mi diario.
¿Miguel? ¿El chico de nuestra clase?
Ups.
Sí, tengo que encontrar mi diario.
Está bien.
Ellas buscan el diario.
Lo siento. No encuentro tu diario.
Es el peor día de mi vida.
Ellas ven a Miguel. Él tiene un diario rosado.
Ay, no. Es Miguel y tiene mi diario.
Hola, Sari. ¿Este es tu diario?
¿No?
Pero tiene tu nombre.
Sí, es mi diario, pero...
No te preocupes. No puedo leer tu letra.
Perfecto.
¿Quieres ir conmigo al cine el viernes?
Sí.
Hasta el viernes. Adiós.
Adiós, Lily. Es el mejor día de mi vida.
Sobre encuentro. Cine, vida. Oh, jeez, vida, leer. Oh, sorry, I have to. So to speak, it's a Japanese, it's an edutainment game about Japanese edutainment game.
La niña
ve a su padre los domingos. ¿Conoces a mucha gente aquí?
Tú. Conozco a niños.
Wait. Oh, conoces. Whoops. Oh, hey, there's a daily bot. Thank you, daily bot. Reminding me I'm also live on Twitch.
Nosotros enseñamos a Juan.
Oh, this is a pretty coincidence with the current unit, actually.
Mi gato nunca ayuda a su hermano.
Mi gata. Oh. Mi gato.
Mi gato. Mi gato nunca ayuda a su hermano. Mi gato nunca ayuda a su hermano. Mi gato nunca ayuda a su hermano.
That's a bit of a slur right there. Jeez. Like, there's some slurring in the first two.
Las.
Let's what are we doing? Las chicas?
Chicas.
Because
a. Sus.
Amigas hoy. ¿Qué? Usualmente cito a mis abuelos los domingos.
Quisiera ayudar a papá con el carro.
quiere llamar a mi abuelo.
That's weird.
Pablo, necesitas ver a un médico. Necesitas ver a un médico. Pablo, necesitas ver a un médico.
Oh, I just got lost somewhere. A little bit. Oh, I've got the whoops. Okay.
¿Quieres? En español. A. La niña.
Tú conoces a esos niños.
I have a type. Oh, the T got fat fingered. Okay.
Esas ventanas son muy grandes.
¿A ustedes les...
¿A ustedes les encanta correr?
Tenemos 2 relojes en la oficina.
A menudo perdemos...
A menudo perdemos los celulares. I must have clicked something. It must have been plural, and I didn't read the whole word or something like that.
¿Dónde?
¿Dónde esas
sillas.
Oh,
¿Quieres?
¿dónde quieres esas sillas?
Jorge y yo tenemos una casa en la playa.
Nosotros perdemos el periodo. Podemos.
Oh, perdemos.
A mí me gusta mucho
see.
el tenis.
Oh. Alright, ustedes.
¿Cuándo
Sure.
volvemos a casa?
¿Cuándo volvemos a casa? Oh, no, accent mark. A mí me gusta mucho tenis.
Yo quiero poder viajar.
Es importante poder estudiar.
Es importante poder trabajar.
Oh, es importante para estudiar. ¿Estudiar? Oh,
Es importante poder trabajar.
Poder trabajar. Oh, wait.
Es importante poder trabajar.
Es importante poder trabajar. Or to be able to work, I guess. That was interesting.
Poder.
Tenemos 2 relojes en la oficina.
Oh, we have. That's why.
Nosotros perdemos el periódico a ver. Perdemos.
Yo voy a viajar a Londres mañana.
A Juan le gusta pasar tiempo con María.
Ella
Ellos va a pagar 26 pesos. Ah, ah, ah. Okay. Pasar. 27 días en año.
Ellos van a conocerlo.
Ellos van a conocer lugares diferentes.
A nosotros nos gusta el fútbol.
Voy a estar en Barcelona por 3 días.
Jorge va a visitar a sus hermanos. Jorge. Visito.
Ups.
Están.
Ah,
Jorge va a visitar a sus hermanos. Va. A. Visito. A. Hermanos. Sus. Jorge va a visitar a sus hermanos.
A ti no te gusta tocar el piano.
Ellos van a viajar en la primavera. Ellos.
Van a viajar en la primavera. A nosotros. I want to clarify. Vamos a estar.
Estás.
Vamos a la playa.
Vamos a la playa. Okay. Personalized practice.
Ellos
Next one.
quieren pasar una semana aquí. Ellos quieren pasar una semana aquí. Ellos quieren pasar una semana aquí.
I mean.
Tú almuerzas en la playa.
Okay.
Tú almuerzas en la playa.
¿Qué hora? ¿Qué hora cierras la tienda? ¿Qué hora? Oh, fair. At what time? Fair.
Tú pierdes tus libros a menudo. Tú pierdes tus libros a menudo. Tú pierdes tus libros a menudo. Tú pierdes tus libros a menudo.
Oh, that's why that didn't make sense.
¿Cuándo? Empieza. Escuela.
¿A ustedes les gusta tocar la guitarra? ¿A ustedes les gusta tocar la guitarra? ¿A ustedes les gusta tocar la guitarra? A ustedes les gusta tocar la guitarra. A ustedes les gusta tocar la guitarra.
I'll use this. Whoa. Oh, that's... Maybe we can get away with this. Curious. Probably not. Probably need fuel. Another one. Oh no. It worked. Wrong spend.
Ellos
I was
nunca
thinking of a
vuelven
wrong spend.
temprano.
Wrong spend.
Ellos nunca vuelven temprano.
Ellos nunca vuelven. ¿No?
Ellos nunca vuelven temprano.
Oh, I had a typo. No, that's fine. We can use it.
A él le gusta ir al parque.
That was a typo.
A él le gusta ir al parque.
Oh, hey, they retroactively had gerunds.
A él le gusta ir al parque.
Forgot about the owl.
Ella.
Movement needed an
¿Qué? Tienda.
Los señores almuerzan en la oficina. Los señores almuerzan en la oficina.
Yo monto a caballo todos los domingos. Yo monto a caballo todos los domingos.
Oh, it's not there. It's right. Ooh. I feel like Wallace. Try this. No, it's just que almorzamos. Oh. Oh, whoops. I took that way too literally.
Ellos quieren probar este vino tinto. Ellos quieren probar este vino tinto. Ellos quieren probar este vino tinto.
¿Dónde quieres almorzar?
Him? ¿Para él?
A menudo probamos comidas diferentes.
No.
A menudo probamos comidas diferentes.
Yo corro con mis amigas en el parque. Yo corro con mis amigas en el parque.
Yo disfruto un día en la playa. Yo disfruto un día en la playa.
Él prueba un deporte nuevo. Él prueba un...
Okay. All right. Got a podcast. Oh, this is gonna be Vikram again, right? All the desktop ones are Vikram now. Oh no! Oh yeah, no, it is.
Welcome, lovely listeners, to another episode of Vikram's Community Hotline. where I answer your calls to make our community even better. I'm your host, Vikram, and today's message is all about surprise exams. As you listen to this episode, it's okay if you don't understand every word. Here are some keywords to help you follow along.
Examen.
Examen.
Aula.
Aula.
Aprender.
Aprender.
Sorpresa.
Sorprendido. Oh, sorpreso.
Let's hear
Yeah,
from our
sorpreso.
first caller.
Hola Vikram, soy Pedro y estudio en la escuela. Soy Pedro y estudio en la escuela.
Oh, okay. Fine.
Nunca sabemos cuándo tenemos un examen. Nunca sabemos cuándo tenemos un examen. Nuestra maestra no nos dice y todos los días llega al aula y hay examen sorpresa de la lección. Estoy aprendiendo mucho y quiero aprender más. Pero es difícil tener que leer todos los días. Tengo que hablar con ella, pero no sé cómo.
Hi, neighbor. Surprise exams sure keep you on your toes, don't they? How about transforming your school experience into an exciting mystery? You and your classmates can try to discover clues about when the next exam will take place. Or consider training carrier pigeons to deliver you secret study materials. Embrace the unpredictable nature of your lessons and make every day a thrilling adventure. Thank you for joining us on Vikram's Community Hotline. Remember, our lines are always open.
The mystery of when your next exam. I mean, that would actively then encourage the person to prepare or study on a regular basis, I suppose. ¿Qué está haciendo? ¿Qué? Ahora, ¿quieres? ¿Qué? ¿Conmigo para los exámenes? ¿Quieres estudiar?
Estudiar.
Okay. Los padres quieren hablar con el maestro.
Hoy no tengo que estudiar.
Hoy no tengo que estudiar.
Margarita está haciendo su tarea.
Haciendo. Oh, no, está haciendo.
Estudia para el examen.
Estudia para examen. Para examen. El examen. El examen.
Estoy
estudiando para el examen. Okay. ¿Dónde es mi... está mi diccionario?
¿Tú estás escuchando?
Está comiendo con sus amigos. Okay.
Ellos están estudiando en el aula.
Los maestros están hablando ahora.
¿Por qué estás aprendiendo alemán?
Oh, I think there was a typo. Possibly. Estamos aprendiendo alemán en la escuela, pero yo quiero aprender italiano. Okay.
Tengo que hacer ahora.
Nota.
Suyo. Mío.
Cara.
¿Cómo se llaman esas escuelas?
Los niños quieren beber
¿Beber leche?
leche.
Hay 3 pizarras en la clase.
Caras.
¿Qué estás leyendo?
Tenemos que escribir en la pizarra.
Ella tiene una nota para ti.
What?
Ella tiene una nota para ti.
Okay. Oh, it could just be español. Oh, this is... I don't know about this. Let's try this. Or de español. Okay.
El maestro está bebiendo.
El maestro está bebiendo un café.
Los estudiantes tienen leer.
Leer mucho.
Mucho.
Oh,
¿Qué?
¿Qué? ¿Qué?
Abrir.
Sara
está escribiendo en la pizarra. ¿Qué? All right.
Los niños están dibujando.
Los niños están dibujando.
Miguel, ¿qué estás escribiendo?
¿Qué quieren beber ustedes?
¿Qué quieren beber ustedes? ¿Quieren beber ustedes?
Los estudiantes tienen que leer mucho. Los estudiantes tienen que leer mucho. Los estudiantes tienen que leer mucho.
Oops.
¿Qué tiene que hacer?
Ahora mismo.
Mucho. Mismo.
¿Tienes que estudiar hoy?
Oh. Oops. Y ahora, ¿qué haces? Interesting. That's fine too. Huh.
Mi pueblo tiene 3 escuelas. Mi pueblo tiene 3.
Aprendí. Oops.
Ella está bebiendo agua en la clase. Ella está bebiendo agua en la clase. Ella está bebiendo agua en la...
Estoy estudiando para el examen. Estoy estudiando para el examen.
Okay. ¿Cuántas pizarras tiene la clase?
Yo estoy hablando con mis amigos.
Oh, abrir. Oh,
Me encanta
that didn't make
escribir en la
sense.
pizarra. Me encanta escribir en la pizarra.
El maestro está leyendo la lección. El maestro está leyendo la lección. El maestro está leyendo la lección.
Is reading the lesson? Okay. Okay. Now we got our trophy, right? El niño está hablando con la maestra.
Estamos haciendo la tarea de francés. Es muy difícil.
Esta mañana estamos leyendo un periódico.
Ellos están escribiendo
una nota al
maestro.
Ella está bebiendo agua en la clase. Ella está
bebiendo. ¿Eh?
Ella está bebiendo agua en la clase.
Oh.
Bebiendo la agua en clase. La.
Nosotros estamos en el aula. Aula ahora.
¿Qué tienes que escribir?
Ahora mismo Pablo está estudiando. Ahora mismo Pablo está estudiando. Ahora mismo Pablo está estudiando.
¿Sabes cuándo es el examen? ¿Sabes cuándo es el examen?
Oh, that's a typo. Oh, no. Just kidding.
Tiene que estudiar para mañana.
Nos gusta mucho esta lección de francés.
Really? A lot? Okay. Okay. All right. That's a wrap for our unit today. All right. Not too bad. I think the personalized practice had some definitely has some weak spots. Actually, because they keep emphasizing needing to redundantly do something, and then there were a few in there I'm gonna have to revisit at some point. All right, so let's look at our evening pods. I see 3 pods and an adventure as per usual. So we have pods. So we have pod 1, daily reading. Daily. We're gonna chalk this up to Lynn. Ain't got time for that, right? And then studying buildings. Oh, this is a Falstaff thing probably. It's like, what's the point of studying buildings when you can do it out in nature? That's totally Falstaff. What else we got? French lesson. Interesting, French lesson. So it could be Lily, like big whoop, and or long shot would be Lucy because French. And then we have adventure. Eddie saves the game. Ooh, Eddie saves the game. I wonder how that works. Videojuegos? Oh, un partido. Alright, so yeah, daily reading, school. That's probably like daily reading for school routines. And then study buildings, check out with school. French lessons pretty much checks out. Saves the game. That sounds like it's related. Alright, so that's a wrap for our Spanish today. If you're gonna watch this later, muchas gracias. As always, you're free to follow along. Duolingo is free after all. And yeah, always welcome to drop a question here and there. You know, ask the questions, stay for the discussions. So for those who are only interested in Spanish, hasta luego. Take care, everyone. We're gonna transition now into our second day of so to speak. But before I do that, I'm gonna take a quick break. Quick bathroom break, stretch around, walk around, and I'll be back for so to speak. Thank you.